Looking three. Got it. Oh, baby.
It's a goal. The Stanley Cup to the Chicago Blackhawks.
You can put it on the board.
Yes.
Welcome to the Sports Zone. I'm Vicki Cronin, and I'm joined by Mike O'Brien, Lindsey Harrison, and Zach Howard, who joins us live in the studio to bring us a story about ISU's homecoming game. Zach?
Thanks, Vicki. With a very sour taste of defeat in the Redbirds' beaks from last week's blowout loss at Missouri State, I wouldn't exactly dub the team Road Warriors. But they do know how to put on a show at home, though, and they were back in their nest for homecoming. After last year's homecoming loss against Southern Illinois, I'm sure the team was hoping that they could give the fans a victory this year, and they sure got off on the right track. The teams began the game by punting on 9 consecutive drives before either team was finally able to put points on the board, and those points went to the Redbirds. Chick Chatham caught a 4-yard pass from Blank Winkler in the end zone to give the Birds the lead, which they were able to hold on to well into the third quarter. Western was able to get on the board quickly in the third on a 42-yard touchdown pass, which was longer than all of the yardage the team gained during the first half. Illinois State would score on their next drive to give ISU a 21-7 lead that would disappear quickly as Western would score on their next 2 drives, one of which came after a blocked punt. With momentum clearly in favor of the Leathernecks early in the fourth quarter, the Redbirds were able to gain that back by scoring on a 6-play, 72-yard drive, which was capped off by a Milton Colbert touchdown catch. And after a turnover on downs, all ISU had to do was run out the clock for the victory, but they ended up scoring again on a 24-yard touchdown by Marshaw Koprich. And to cap things off, Mike Banks intercepted a pass by Western Illinois on the first play of the next drive to secure ISU's 35-21 homecoming victory.
I was really kind of curious to see how our young and inexperienced team was going to respond. They responded very well. The offense came and had a drive and scored. We did some good things in the kicking game. We got a punt blocked, and then we came up with some big stops in the game to win it.
ISU now moves to 2-3 on the season and will travel to take on conference rival Youngstown State. So, guys, you heard Brock Spack say it himself. This is a young, inexperienced team. Is this homecoming win enough to get the team on a good winning streak?
You know what? I don't think they're going to be able to hold it together next weekend against Youngstown State. I just don't think their offense can pull it together much longer.
Yeah, we've had 2 wins at home, but every time we go on the road, the team gets beat. I don't think one game at home is enough to break that so far.
I think it'll help, but they're in one of the toughest conferences in the entire nation, and with 3 losses already, it's do or die time for the rest of the season for them. So, keep up the wins. Well, senior Devontae Jones ran for 226 yards and 3 touchdowns in Illinois Wesleyan's 35-21 win over Millikin on Saturday, opening up conference play. The Titans improved to 4-0 with the win. Jones' 35 carries is tied for 3rd most all-time in Wesleyan history, and the 226 yards is the 5th most in a single game, the most since Marcus Dunlap's 222 yards back in 2004.
Undefeated University High School played host to conference rival Pontiac on Friday night. TV10's Chad Ballard was at the game.
Quarterback Arian Worthman and the U-High Pioneers ran all over the Pontiac Indians Friday night. Worthman ran for 4 touchdowns, 2 of them over 50 yards, and threw 1 to number 24, Niles Smith, all in the first quarter.
Touchdown, Pioneer!
The Pioneers never looked back. Number 34, Joseph Hughes, took an 85-yard reverse to the house early in the second quarter, bringing the score to 41-0 and starting the running clock. Pioneers coach Dusty Burke talked about the play after the game.
JoJo Hughes, that run he had on that reverse, that was something special. For a sophomore, he doesn't play like a sophomore.
The score is 48-0 here at Hancock Stadium at the end of the first half, and U-High has shown no signs of slowing down. Their defense allowed only 2 first downs the entire first half. During the second half, there will be a running clock due to the score discrepancy. The game remained one-sided as the Pioneers kept up the pressure on offense and stifled the Indians on defense. 6'5" defenseman Kane Wildermuth put on an exclamation point on the game when he blew up the offensive line to run over the Pontiac running back. Coach Burke talked about his team's 62-0 win after the game.
Defense did an exceptional job getting 3 and out after 3 and out, and in offense, when they got the ball, they scored points. And I couldn't be more pleased with the way our boys played tonight.
U-High's next game will be next Friday at Rantoul High School. For TV10 News, I'm Chad Ballard.
U High is now the only inner-city team with an undefeated record. After Friday night, they sit at 6 wins and 0 losses. The rest of the inner-city football teams also had very successful weekends. Normal West celebrated their homecoming with a hard-fought win against Urbana. After a back-and-forth game, the Wildcats came out on top, winning 41-34 and bringing their record to 5-1. Normal Community rolled over Decatur Eisenhower 50-6, scoring 29 points in just the first quarter. The Ironmen are on top of the Big 12 with a perfect conference record of 5-0 and an overall record of 5-1. Bloomington High School also won their homecoming game on Friday, beating Centennial 35-26. Quarterback Jake Romani threw 4 touchdown passes to bring the Purple Raiders to a 4-2 overall record. And finally, Central Catholic shut out Rantoul 42-0. The Saints finished the game with a total of 332 yards, while only allowing Rantoul 104. They are tied for the conference lead with a 3-1 record.
The 40th class of the Illinois State Athletics Percy Family Hall of Fame was officially enshrined Saturday morning during 2013 homecoming festivities. From left to right, we start with Stacy Anderson Stewart, a volleyball player. She led the Redbirds to Missouri Valley Conference regular season and tournament titles during the 1988 and 89 seasons and was selected as the 1989 Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. Jill Hollenbeek of the gymnastics team named the ISU Newcomer of the Year for the 86-87 season. She capped her career by being named the Linda Herman ISU Female Athlete of the Year during the 90-91 season. Nicole Kurth-Duncan pitched the Redbirds to a pair of Missouri Valley Conference championships and 2 NCAA regional appearances. She was named the second-team All-American by Easton following her senior season in 2001. Tom Sapula of the men's golf team was a member of the 89 and 92 Missouri Valley Conference championship teams. He ranked as high as 16th nationally as an individual his senior season and number 3 in the nation in birdies recorded. And finally, Sam Young of the football team, member of the 98-99 NCAA FCS playoff teams. He was named an NCAA FCS Defensive Player of the Year and a first-team All-American selection by the Football Gazette in 1999.
The Illinois State men's cross-country team dominated the Titan Invite this weekend, grabbing first, second, and third place. Freshman Brendan Hoskins led the way for the Redbirds and finished first, capturing his first collegiate win. Redshirt sophomore Ryan Bybee ran right behind Hoskins and grabbed second place, and sophomore Aiden Askin crossed the finish line in third place. The Redbirds are back in action on October 18th and 19th as they travel to Peoria to compete in the Bradley Classic Friday and Terre Haute, Indiana to race in pre-nationals on Sunday.
The ISU soccer team started off their conference play the right way this weekend. The Redbirds beat Indiana State 2-1 on Friday night. Hannah Leinert scored the first goal of the game 12 minutes in. Indiana State quickly responded to keep the score tied for most of the game. It was senior Allie Newsom who scored a game-winning goal in the second half to take the Redbirds' first conference game. ISU will play their next conference game at home this Sunday against Loyola. The Redbird volleyball team claimed victory in some key games over the weekend. ISU narrowly beat Loyola in 4 matches on Friday to keep their spot at the top of the conference. Emily Schneider led the Birds with a team high of 15 kills. The team continued winning on Saturday, beating Bradley in straight sets. Leanne Harenka and Stacy Niao led the team with 8 kills each against the Braves. The Redbirds now have a perfect conference record of 5-0. They will host Wichita State this Friday at 7 p.m. And the ISU women's tennis team had another successful weekend at the Missouri Valley Conference Individual Championships. Emmy Max, Madeline Balin, and Gabby Phillips each earned an MVC Conference singles title on Sunday in their flights. The Redbirds also won 2 singles consolation matches at the tournament. The team will play their final fall season tournament this weekend at the ITA Midwest Regional in Ann Arbor, Michigan.
Coming up, we're going to take a look at Sunday's games around the NFC North.
And we'll get our first look at playoff baseball, all that and more when the Sports Zone returns.